Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to a room tour video. I shot one of these when I first moved into this apartment back in February. So some things have definitely changed around here. If you're someone who actually watched my last room tour video, thank you so much. That means so much to me. You have no idea. All right, let's get into it. Let me show you around again. This is the first area in this bedroom. It's a little built-in shelving unit. I love having built-in shelves. I was really excited to have shelves when we first moved here for some reason. I was just like, wow, finally somewhere to put my stuff. My husband and I share these shelves. The very top shelf is a ton of my husband's old geology textbooks and books on geology in general, pretty much, and then my cat vase, because everyone loves a good cat vase, am I right? The second shelf down is garnered with all of my Batiste dry shampoo collection. I have been collecting different scents from Batiste forever now. I have a lot of bottles in this collection that they don't even make anymore, which is great. Had a lot of fun collecting those because I've been a huge fan of Batiste for years. I love their dry shampoo. It is my ride or die. It has most of my Claire's boxes. These all came out in 2001 and I'm obsessed with them. I had them as a child. I tracked them all down on eBay one by one and bought the entire collection. I have a little Funko Pop back here that is supposed to be me, at least I think so, that one of my friends gave me, and then next to it I have my makeshift Taylor Swift Reputation Funko Pop. This little tree right here is one of my favorite things. It's got a bunch of rose quartz on it, and then at the very top of the tree I glued some opal pieces onto those. These little bride and groom rubber duckies were one of our wedding gifts, so I have us kind of getting married under this tree, so to speak, in that little shelf. I love that little thing. I don't know. I'm just into stuff like that. The next shelf down is, again, my husband's shelf. This is pretty much a ton of his books. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say about this shelf. These rocks are all different rocks and fossils that he has found, and the bookends were a Christmas present to my husband from my mom. This rock has a fossil stuck in it, which is just pretty awesome. I mean, cool find. My husband is a geologist. He studies geoscience, so that's where all the rocks and geology comes from. The following shelf after that has some of my books. I don't have a ton of books in my life, so that's where my little book collection lives, as well as a ton of different blank greeting cards. I just have a ton of different cards for every single occasion. This fossil over here was a graduation gift to my husband when he graduated with his master's degree in geology and geoscience. The next shelf underneath that has actually changed since I shot these last clips, so bear with me because it's always changing, but it's where I hold a lot of my extra arts and crafts supplies. I put all of my art books over here recently. Finally, on the very bottom shelf slash the floor, I have my sheep collection. These are driving sheep. If you know, you know. And then I have my Madeline doll. I've had that literally since I was a child. That is a very precious item to me. All right, let's move along. So moving along to this wall, this is one you've probably seen the most if you've been on my YouTube channel. I film primarily all of my videos in front of this wall. I've got some pieces of artwork over here that are very, very close to me. This first one is Taylor Swift from the You Need to Calm Down music video done by one of my dearest friends, Zoe. Love her. I will put her Instagram in the description box down below. Zoe's incredible. Check her out. In the center here here I have my signed framed copy of Folklore. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, or if you know a Taylor Swift fan, she's been selling signed albums left and right this era. It would make an incredible gift for any Swiftie. They're about $13 on her website right now, so. And then lastly, I have this Taylor Swift clock. This clock actually, funnily enough, came from Wish. I just randomly typed in Taylor Swift on Wish one night and this clock popped up and I was like, you know what? That's super cute. I have this 12 cubed kind of organizer storage shelving unit in here. Used to have a wardrobe in here, but I just hated it, honestly. It hid all of my stuff and prized possessions instead of displaying all of them, so that's why I made the decision to get rid of that and buy this. The pieces I have on top here, this little blue carnival glass ring holder, candy dish, whatever. I love this piece. I keep a bunch of random little knickknacks and odds and ends in there. On top of it, I have the tiara from when Adam and I got married. I have these cat vases, or as they once were, wine bottles. I just stuck some fake flowers in them. I got these fake flowers from Romwe and I got these blue ones from Hobby Lobby. But I love my little cat vases. I also have this gorgeous little iridescent vase. I'm obsessed with this. I got this at the cutest little vase shop in Austin called Planet K. It was amazing and it's just so cute. It's so iridescent and glittery. I'm obsessed. But again, just fake flowers. My cat eats anything that's real, so I can only have fake flowers unless they're roses. He doesn't eat roses. Another cat vase that's an actual vase. I'm obsessed with them if you can't tell. Moving into the actual storage space and what is on each of these shelves, I'm gonna try and do this quickly. But in this first cubby, I have a diary of mine from ages ago. I've got My Melody, one of those Claire's boxes that I was talking about earlier. I've got a lot of these Tokidoki Cactus Friend blind box things, and this guy over here is also from a blind box. I have all of Taylor Swift's CDs scattered throughout this little organization. In this cubby here, I have my giant cinema roll plush, more Cactus Friends from Tokidoki, a little otter beanie baby, my signed 30 Seconds to Mars album, Fugitives and Refugees. This little flower right here is actually from a peach cake show. If you know, you know. And it belonged to Ariel, so I love having this displayed in here finally. Little double duckies, more crystals. In this cubby, this is kind of my red Taylor Swift themed cubby. Got a fox in here, got my Red Tour memorabilia collage that I made. I made that after we saw Taylor Swift on the Red Tour, obviously. We got a stack of Folklore albums on this shelf as well. This little jar of opals here is one of my favorite things. It was kind of expensive to procure, not gonna lie. I bought them all individually, but I'm obsessed with this. I love just swirling it around and staring at these opals. My inspiration for this little opal jar actually came from a party that me and my husband went to. We went to a party and this girl had a jar full of opals and it was so beautiful. She told me she paid like $30 for it at a gym show, which was such a steal. It was such a beautiful sight. She actually gave me a couple, which was so generous. Probably one of my favorite things that I own. This little light up bracelet is my bracelet from the Reputation Stadium tour and Paul signed it. I got to meet him, take a photo with him, and he signed it. Super nice of him to be on the floor meeting fans. Definitely enjoyed that experience. We'll remember it forever. This shelf is super cute and important to me. Those two Furbies are actually from my childhood. I have a little miniature Taylor Swift as well as a little miniature Phantom of the Opera. I have a Tiffany's book that Tiffany's gave us when we went there and pretended that we were ring shopping for our engagement, which obviously we weren't. Got another little Tokidoki blind box, more Taylor Swift CDs, more crystals, more Claire's boxes. Kind of just different of the same, if you will, but I love it. Moving straight down from there, I have a ton of Taylor Swift magazines. I have collected quite the plethora of Taylor Swift magazines throughout the years, as well as my old Polaroid camera that was actually a birthday present from Ariel to me. And I love that old Polaroid camera. It still works. It's incredible. I love it. The film for it is just ridiculously expensive. Got my little Instax over there, and then my flamingo Beanie Baby. All of my Beanie Babies are also just from my childhood. Next cubby over, again, a stack of magazines that Taylor Swift was on the cover for, including my 3 Vogue issues that she's on the cover for. Love those. I have a stack of kitty Beanie Babies because why not? It's a cuddle puddle of kittens. I love it. A big vintage camera that actually still works. It's a very old digital camera. And then far in the back there, I have my Reputation collage from when my mom and I went and saw Taylor Swift for Reputation. I haven't done collages for all the concerts I've been to, which I'm kind of sad about, but maybe one day I'll put them all together. This next cubby over has a lot more of my books, journals, things of that nature, as well as my old iPod, Pokemon cards, my Neopets game, a stack of hair scrunchies, my bracelet from the 1989 tour. These 2 Super Sex books, just by the way, if you're a virgin out there watching this, I would definitely recommend reading Super Sex. It has so much information about sex, all the things involving sex. It'll answer any question you're too afraid to ask somebody. That book's great. If you're in a committed relationship, might I suggest their bigger sister Super Hot Sex, also a great book. Then finally, last but not least, on this end here, I have a stack of Taylor Swift kind of like fan magazines, as well as the Reputation magazines. I have 2 journals from the Reputation era stacked up here as well. My little Sabrina Funko Pop, which I love because it comes with a little Salem. I've got Baby Bop chilling in the back. That is my actual Baby Bop from my childhood once again. 2 purse sheep, if you know, you know. And then in the front here, I have my all-time favorite Beanie Baby probably that I own. I say probably because I'm like, that might be a lie. I can't remember them all right now. I love a lot of Beanie Babies, but the 4 Seasons bear is definitely one of my favorites. I love this bear so much. I've had him forever in my life, and I remember loving him as a child. I've just always loved this bear so much. So love having him on display, or her, we don't know. Love having them on display. Beautiful. Then last but not least, on the very bottom, I have a bunch of storage shelves, like little storage bin things. In this first one, this is my miscellaneous bullshit catch-all one. It is exactly what I just said, miscellaneous bullshit catch-all. This next one over is my hair accessories. So I have a ton of hair scarves, hair wraps, bandanas, hats, tiaras, anything like that nature. Pretty much all lives in this drawer. Then in this one, under the vintage camera, we have camera supplies. All my chargers, all my recording stuff, cameras, backup cameras, things like that. Please don't take this drawer away from me. And then in this front drawer, I have a bunch of just extra crafting supplies, mainly my cross-stitching supplies, as well as materials for art projects that I haven't done yet. Surprise. So that is everything in this storage unit. I love it. I love having all of my stuff on display. I did have to tediously tape these little string lights in here. That took forever, but it was super worth it because it brightens everything up. I love sitting in here at nighttime with a candle burning and all my like little lights on. I just feel so chill and so zen. We're gonna move into this corner here, right over here. Time to talk about this corner. Okay, so down in this corner area, I have a ton of extra storage. This corner's a mess right now. This corner is always a mess, so I'm not trying to hide anything from y'all. On the very bottom, I have Here Lies Taylor Swift's Reputation. This is a box full of Taylor Swift memorabilia and just random things, little scraps that I've saved from being a Taylor Swift fan for so long. Then I've got a memory box here. I feel like that speaks for itself, right? It's a box full of memories. Again, like memorabilia from my life. Then we have childhood photos, as it states. These are childhood photos. I have so many childhood photos. I don't even think that that's all of them. There's so many. On this next box, moving straight up, are more childhood photos. Got paper plates because I craft every now and then. When I get a wild hair, I do a craft. So I've got a bunch of paper plates just for painting and stuff like that. It's very handy. Then I have this Texas mug on top for no reason at all. There is a cork inside of here, and the cork is cool because I found it in the streets of downtown Austin the day after Biden was elected president. Yay. Celebration. But wait, there's more crammed into this corner. We also have my sewing machine case thing. This is filled with boxes full of stuff. By stuff, I mean extra makeup, letters that my best friend wrote me when I was 13. I have a shoebox full of those for some reason. On top of that, I have my sewing kit, aptly named So It Goes. And then I have this caboodles that my mom found at a garage sale, and I love it. It's the perfect caboodle. Like the colors are everything. I love this caboodle. That just holds all my extra makeup, so I can have easy access to that. Moving straight up above this wall, we have my magnetic board with all of my ColourPop eyeshadows, as well as 2 Speak Now light up pens from the Speak Now tour. Oh my god. And then hanging above that is my butterfly mobile. You may or may not recognize that from my video making a butterfly mobile. I'm obsessed with it still. I love it. It's beautiful. It may never leave this place because it will just get tangled into a million knots. So it's gonna stay here forever, but it's beautiful and I love it. This bag right here, this bride bag, this actually houses all of my extra scrap fabric as well as a ton of cross stitching fabric. Then just while we're down here, below this vanity, I have my blue Planters Peanuts jar where I keep all of my empties and store basically my beauty trash to talk about it with y'all later in life. And then I have my vanity. Just gonna casually lean on this desk. This is a vanity, I believe it was another garage sale find from my mom. I'm not in love with it. I'm probably going to replace it soon. But for right now, it's kind of working. My acrylic makeup organizer, I think I found this at HomeGoods. Got everything in here organized from foundation to mascara. On top, I have a couple of my favorite MAC lipsticks, hand sanitizer, my makeup sponge. These little paper cranes are actually chopstick holders. Eye drops, because you know, my favorite lighter. I found this at an antique shop. It's from the 1940s and it's just incredible. I'm obsessed with it. Trust me, if this could be restored in a functioning lighter, I would use it all the time. Sadly, it cannot because the flint that was used to make these back in the day, they no longer make. Nonetheless, I'm still obsessed with this lighter. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, my bad. Obviously, I have all of my makeup brushes stored nice and neatly up here, my magnifying mirror, as well as a collection of makeup that I'm trying to burn through to make room for more inclusive brands in my collection. So that's my makeup vanity. I feel like this hasn't really changed a ton since the last time you saw it. Obviously, with everything going on with COVID, I rarely do my makeup. Pretty much the only time I do my makeup in my life right now is when I'm filming YouTube videos, if I'm being super honest, or if I'm going out on a date with my husband. Those are the only 2 times I'll put on makeup. Otherwise, plain Jane all day. This next wall over here, this wall isn't terribly exciting. There's not a ton going on over here simply because this is where I store my lights. My lights are usually stored up against this wall. They take up a lot of space. They help a ton. I need them to film, but wow, they take up a lot of space. So they live up against this wall, but I do have a lot of cross stitch work that I've done on this wall wall. These cactuses are absolutely my favorite. I love them. A little fox, little blue flowers, little daffodil, spray roses, and then front and center, this is a letter from my best friend to me. And honestly, I just put it there for this video because I didn't have anything hanging up there because what I had there fell. Now we get to move along to my favorite little corner of the room. This chair in this corner is pretty much my life lately. I got this chair. Honestly, I bought it as a therapy chair. I bought it to help motivate me to make a therapy appointment. I was like, I can have therapy here. It'll be a nice chilled out vibe. I'll be in my element. I'll be in my new chair. I even got the cutest decorative pillow ever for it. Like, tell me that's not the cutest. It's so cute. As well as my favorite Taylor Swift blanket. This is the Fearless album blanket. And I bought a big ass ottoman for it that I currently have my feet on, which, yep, you guessed it, also has hidden storage. Usually my cat comes in and we hang out, we snuggle in here all the time. I love this room. I love this chair. Having a spot to actually like lounge and chill in this room has been super helpful for me. Definitely grateful to have this space. I'm grateful to have this room at all, but just having this chair has changed my life. I love it. Love hanging out in this room. Any excuse to spend time in this room is a good time to me. I'm trying to think of more things I can say about this chair so I can keep sitting here longer. So maybe I'm just gonna give myself a little break right now and then I'll be right back and then we will move along to my sewing studio. Ooh, fancy. Not really, it's just a sewing table. All right, we've made it over to my little sewing station, and this is honestly kind of just a craft station in general for me. This, again, another garage sale find from my mom. It is a old sewing table. In this dish rack holder, I have a ton of things. I have everything from paper to books to my iPad. Postcards that have inspired me. All sorts of things. It's kind of a catch-all. Everything lives right there. I have this little Twin Stars box which houses all of my erasers, and then I have a space maker which I am very proud of. Thank you very much, eBay. That holds all of my gel pens, pencils, crayons, like just random assortment of stuff. Obviously we have my sewing machine holding this whole desk down, and then I have this little craft organizer guy. That's a touch light. I love this. It's perfect. Got all of my pens, pencils, paintbrushes, scissors, rulers, things I very frequently use live in that pen and pencil holder, and I'm obsessed with it. Like I said, this is pretty much my art station. This is pretty much where I do like all of my art. I feel so weird calling it art. It's like, this is where I scribble sometimes. Pretty much like this is my scribble station. It does sit in front of all three of these windows though, so on pretty days I will open up all of the windows and it is just beautiful. This room kind of projects out right here, so I just feel like I'm on top of the world and just in the forest living my best life. It's a pretty good time. I really, really love this room. I very much appreciate having this space. Moving along on the wall right here, I have a case full of my enamel pen collection. I've been collecting enamel pens for probably about 5 years now. I have a ton of Trader Joe's Rose Day Parade pens because I just really like Trader Joe's. And then I have a couple of Tokidoki pens. I've got some from Romwe. I've got some from Etsy. I've got some from my past. I've got my family pen from, I think, Yale. I'm pretty sure that pen is from Yale. I have so many things displayed here. I love it. It might almost be time for me to get a new display case though, because that one's getting pretty full. And then just above that, I have this beautiful hanging butterfly that flaps when you pull the little flower at the bottom. That butterfly is so close to my heart because it was made by my piano teacher who basically taught me how to play piano. So I love that. I've had it forever and I'm obsessed with it. I hope so badly one day that Adam and I have a little girl and I can hang that in her room. I really love it. It's a piece I'll never part with. Wow, last but not least, this wall clearly houses my nail polish collection. I have plenty of nail polish. I have way more than one person needs. But hey, I use it and I'm obsessed with nail polish, so these just made total practical sense in my life. I have two that are totally dedicated to nail polish, this big one and then this smaller one. And then this last one over here is dedicated to art supplies. So it's got like hair glitter, a ton of acrylic paints. But having all of my acrylic paints out and in rainbow order is so pleasing to me. I love just looking at that. It makes me happy. Being able to see all of my things displayed in a way that makes sense for my brain helps me so much. Just being able to like know where my things are. It pleases me. Makes me very happy. I love a good rainbow. And then in front of this wall, we also have our ironing board because it's just convenient to have that kind of left out somewhere if you can. And if I'm ever sewing, I have to iron a lot. But wow, holy shit, that was it. That was my entire room. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, please let me know your thoughts down below. Love talking to you guys in the comments. You know, I'll see ya next time. Hope you're doing all right. Stay sane out there, bud. See you next time. Okay, bye.